Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Kengan Omega Chapter 106. Before I get into this week's review, I actually have a few things to go over. First off, sorry if there's some background noise. We have people doing yard work in the neighborhood. Can't really do anything about that. The next thing is my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 by the end of the year. So if you're already a fan of my videos and you're not subscribed, you might as well help me reach that milestone. We're at almost 3,000. And if I could hit 3,000 by the end of today, that would be really great for a reason I'll get into in a minute. Next thing is my Patreon. If you want to help support me and the channel directly and get access to some extra content, you can always become a patron. There's a link to that down in the description. And the last thing, my biggest announcement, is that today is the 1-year anniversary of the channel. So tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a live stream. To celebrate, I'll just be doing some Q&A with the chat. We'll have some people on from the Discord to talk. And we're going to be doing a raffle giveaway for some stuff. So I hope you guys show up. I'd really love to celebrate with all of you. So with that out of the way, let's get on with this review. This is another longer chapter this week. I don't know what the deal is. We had been getting a lot of under 20-page chapters for a while. Then last week we got 21 pages. And then we got 23 whole pages for this chapter. This is unreal. I don't know why Sandro chose this fight out of all of them so far to have like a lot of lengthy chapters, but I'm not complaining because that means we get a lot more content every week, which is nice. So the first big thing in this chapter is that we get an explanation of Nicholas's ability. As we've been seeing, a lot of his strikes seem to cause numbness or paralysis. It makes you feel like the part of your body that he's hit has disappeared. We've seen it's made Okoye lose feeling in his arm, and it's made him lose vision in his left eye, which let Nicholas get basically a free hit in on him. So, in this chapter, we finally get an explanation for that, which is essentially that Nicholas is striking the nerves in order to cause numbness or paralysis. So, that was one of the popular theories. It's not pressure points, because that's a specific thing, and there are only certain areas with pressure points. Whereas with striking the nerve, he can just kind of do it just about anywhere. And as Nicholas points out, the biggest strength of this technique is that once someone is, numbed or paralyzed, you can just keep hitting them and keep, causing paralysis, which is something we see him do. Which, when you think about it, is like a really, really fucking strong technique. How the fuck is Nicholas one of the weakest A-rankers in Purgatory? I cannot understand. Like, he is kind of giving Okoye a run for his money here, and Okoye is no slouch. Okoye is like a solid A-tier fighter. I don't know, man. What the fuck is Tarashi and the rest of Purgatory on for them to say Nicholas is weak? Is he just on his A-game right now? Because, like, holy shit, this is actually, like, a really... he's a really good fighter. He's doing way better than most of the other Purgatory fighters have done at the start of their fights. I'd say probably Giroda did better, because it took longer to get hits in on Giroda. And Okoye does smack Nicholas around a little bit this chapter. But the guy is doing really, really well. I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna explain away Nicholas's shitty record. I assume we're going to get some kind of in-depth explanation for that. I don't know. And I don't think we've seen him switch on yet, because that was something that Lalong had sort of specifically mentioned about when Nicholas is in a corner, he's as strong as the highest ranked members of the A rank. So, like, this is apparently not Nicholas in peak condition. Holy shit, I'm like, what the fuck is he going to be doing if he gets, like, if he's really going all out? That's still my theory on what's going to be, like, the final act of this fight. Another really impressive and kind of terrifying showing of Nicholas's technique is when he does kind of like a mini heart jab on Okoye, where he doesn't like shove his hand into his chest like Muteba does with his heart jab, but like he strikes the center of your chest and you just lose feeling in your heart and lungs, which is really, really debilitating, in case you wouldn't have guessed that. I mean, Okoye literally, like, collapses onto the ground when this happens, because he can't fucking breathe. So, Nicholas is really fucking strong. I'm kind of like, Jesus, what is peak condition Nicholas going to look like? This is kind of terrifying. And for once, actually, Elisa is stopping the Purgatory fighter from hitting the Kengan fighter while they're down. Like, holy shit, actually being kind of fair with the rules for once. Although, she does not seem to like Nicholas very much. When the Purgatory team came out to meet the Kengan team, she was like, specifically, Nicholas, what the hell are you doing? There's kind of like a little theory going around that they used to be dating or whatever. So she's personally aware of like what a little shit Nicholas is. I find that, I don't know if I fully believe that theory, but I find it a fairly entertaining idea. But yeah, Okoye still managed to get hits in on Nicholas, so this is not a complete one-sided beatdown. Okoye is still giving Nicholas a little trouble. He's sweating, he's bleeding a little, his legs are shaking. Overall, this fight is pretty good so far. It's pretty solid. We'll see what happens, but so far, looking really good. Now, at the end of this chapter, we find out more about the identity of the true identity of this Nicholas. And that is that he is not a worm member. Because worm members, whenever they do infiltration, they use cosmetic surgery and stuff to look exactly like the person that they're impersonating. But, as everyone's pointed out, you could look at a picture of this Nicholas in comparison to the real Nicholas and be like, these are not the same people at all. So, very obviously, they're not a worm infiltrator. And this is when we find a picture of our Nicholas hanging out with the real Nicholas. God, does he look fucking goofy in this picture. I'm so happy he changed his haircut and started wearing the sunglasses. Yeah, Nicholas, actual Nicholas, that dude knew what he was doing. But apparently, this Nicholas is a guy known as Jean-Luc. So Jean. We have a real name, it's Jean. Apparently, there's some kind of joke about, I saw something on 4chan about how this being a name that French people kind of snicker at and make fun of because it sounds like I ass fuck or something. I don't know if that's true. I can't verify that personally, but if so, that's fucking hilarious. And seems pretty in line with Jean's character. This is gonna be weird calling him Jean now. Anyway, it seems like the real Nicholas was the one who massacred all of the Special Forces members, and seemingly Jean fought and killed Nicholas, and after that point he assumed his identity and went to Japan. We still don't know why. We're going to be finding that out at some point, I assume. But we have a general idea of what happened, what Jean did. Now we know that the real Nicholas was also a psychopath. But we still need to find out what the motivation behind doing that was. So hopefully we will find that out next week. Apparently Golden Week starts next week. I don't know exactly what Golden Week is. I just know you don't get any manga coming out during Golden Week. It's a holiday, or a holiday week. It's a celebratory thing. I don't know what the deal with it is. I just know that when it's going on, all of the manga magazines are on break. So I don't know if that's going to affect next week's Kengan chapter, because I saw it's not supposed to start until the 29th, and that's the day after the chapter would come out, so I have no idea. So we'll see. We'll see if we'll get a chapter next week or not. But with that, that's all I have to say for this week's review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Kengan Omega chapter reviews every week. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, Black Clover, and Kaiju number 8, I do videos on those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Kengan Omega with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce in this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. Since it's the end of the video, it's time to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons: Archbear, CJ2K, Fuse, Neo, Solo Warrior, Tyree Simmons, Dijon Redden, Honey Mustard, Zach Rhodes, K-God, Holly Walker, Angel Does It, Chris Redfield, and Brendan Lee. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. And if you too want to get a shout out at the end of videos or access to some extra content, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to that down in the description. And of course, celebratory live stream is tonight. I'd love to have you there, so look forward to that. I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching. Take care.